She and Larry talked so much about Holly over Christmas that her daddy said he wanted to meet this man with a girl's name. Jawana took a pair of khaki slacks and brown shoes from her closet and a white top from the middle dresser drawer she and Larry shared, and continued dressing. She knew her husband and the man had returned because she could hear them talking in the living room. She hoped the man liked the car. She wished she and Larry could afford to buy it. One of their neighbors had told them that a man had come by on Saturday afternoon to look at the car. To tell you the truth, he didn't look like he could afford the car, he'd told Larry. But Larry just laughed and said, "Don't judge a book by its cover." The ad had been in the paper since the 16th of December, and it was scheduled to end on the 6th of January. Larry didn't want to have to mess with placing another ad and going through all the no-shows again. Jawana turned on the clock radio they kept on a little wicker shelf above the commode. KISR was playing 9 to 5, a song she liked. She glanced at her Timex watch and knew, right after this song, Fred Baker would give the weather. He always made things as dramatic as possible, whether it was a violent tornado coming, a raging flood, or a crippling ice storm. KISR was a popular music station, with a morning listening audience said to be 20,000 in the mornings and 18,000 in the afternoons. Everybody Jawana knew listened to KISR. "Cloudy and cold today with winds out of the northwest. High in the low 40s. Better bundle up those kiddos heading back to school in Mountainburg, Rudy, Kibler, Chester, Figure 5, Cedarville, Sunset Corners, Pocola, and all areas in between." She chuckled at Fred Baker naming all the little towns on either side of the Arkansas River that separated Arkansas from Oklahoma. She switched off the radio, grabbed her heavy brown sweater off the chair where she'd tossed it the night before, and opened the bedroom door. "Good morning," she said. Larry was wearing his blue plaid shirt she'd given him for Christmas. His blue eyes really sparkled when he wore blue. "So how was the test drive?" Jawana asked. Larry stood up from where he was sitting on the living room couch. He walked over and put his arm around his wife. "This nice guy wants to buy the car." Jawana smiled at the man and told him hello. She noticed that Larry had made coffee because 2 cups sat on their coffee table. That was just like Larry. He never met a stranger, and here he was sitting in their apartment, drinking coffee with a man he'd only met 30 minutes earlier. The man nodded and offered a half smile. "Nice to meet you." Jawana thought the man looked a little scary. His blue jacket was frayed around the collar and sleeves, and under it he wore a blue shirt with what looked like an insulated shirt under it. He had a mustache and long curly sideburns, and he swooped his brown hair over to one side to hide his growing baldness. His glasses were odd-looking, out of fashion, with thick lenses and black frames. He was thin with a sunken-looking chest, but he looked tough. And she detected a body odor. She didn't see how in the world he could come up with over $4,000 to buy the car, but she'd let Larry worry about that. She grabbed her purse off the kitchen counter and pulled on her brown sweater. She smiled at Larry and said, "I'll see you for lunch then, around noon?" Her husband kissed her cheek. "Want to try some Mexican?" "Sounds good." And then Jawana added, "Fred Baker says it's going to be cold today, so you better wear that heavy windbreaker." Neither Jawana nor Larry liked to wear coats. They felt constricted in them, especially while driving. They seemed to agree on nearly everything. Jawana opened the front door and checked her watch that read 8:40. "I'll see you about noon, then." Larry said, "I'll walk you to your car." "And will you feed the cat and the fish today?" "Sure thing," Larry said. Then he turned to the man and said, "I have to do all the hard work around here." Larry Price thought it odd that the guy didn't laugh at his joke. His only response was a cold, hard stare.